Test, test. All right. Hey, good morning. Look at that. Hey, we're live. It's Monday. We're back. What's cooking, everybody? I just saw somebody say, "What's up?" Remember the Budweiser commercial? What's up? We should do that every morning. Right before we play our music, we crank up in June. We'll have the "What's up?" and everybody should say it. Oh man! All right. Well, hey, guess who's on my lap because he missed me. So I figured we'd get Louie out of the way because I want to get cranking on some weather talk. Hey everybody! So here we go. Everybody, here's Louie. He's spoiled. He missed his daddy. So there's your morning Louie shot as we say hi to everybody. Hey, what's up, Conehead Faith? That's our official name, Coneheads, right? So there you go. There's Louie. Say what's up, everybody. I missed you too. I'm gonna put you down, all right? Don't get mad at me. All right, so we had an adventure this week. Yeah, what's up, Don? That's just for you. So we chased snow. I'll get that over with. But we took off Friday morning. I took Emily and one of her friends, and it was a fun trip. If you remember, Friday night I was drinking by the fire at Margaritaville, crying the blues because it didn't look like we were going to find any snow. But Saturday morning, guess what? Let me show you in case you missed it. We found snow. I have an album on my personal page. But there you go. Look. Now, don't laugh. All right. I took a lot of heat about people making fun of my snow. But that's snow. It doesn't matter. It wasn't a blizzard. It was a little bit of snow. It was enough that I could draw the date, May 9th. I had to go a little higher, of course. It wasn't on the bottom. Made a little snowman. Now this is a deceiving picture. The snowman was about that big. It looked bigger in real life or in the picture. But there was ice. This is, of course, the Smokies. But I made the balls on my bare hands, and my fingers absolutely felt like they were going to fall off. So anyway, we got that. There's the actual size. There's the size of our snowman. All right, I disappointed a lot of people because they thought but I made snow. That's big to a Florida boy, right? I had a snowball, made a snowball to. So here we go. I rewind it. See? See? So it was good. So two more things on our trip. Really cool. So check this out. We saw bears. I don't have the video, but there was a mama bear and two cubs. Very first time ever I've seen Smoky bears in the Smoky Mountains. So we saw a mama and two cubs. We assume it was mama. And then when I was leaving, we did the hillbilly golf and stuff. But when I was leaving yesterday, check this out. An elk. All right, I put it on my personal page. It was huge. It was like a horse. I think it was huge. And somebody told me it was an elk. So we saw a female elk. Literally, I mean, he walked across the road, and could have been interesting if it was about 10 seconds earlier. I might have hit the damn thing. So anyway, there we go. All right. That was it. That was cool. That was our trip. Thanks for going with me. Thanks for sharing the week. We saw snow. Mission accomplished. It was 28 degrees. And it was snow. And there you go. All right, let's talk about the weather. Current weather. That's an elk. Hey, Joy. Yes, it was an elk. It was an elk. And I Googled it. There are elks in the Smokies. There's about 200 of them. There are. You Google elks in the Smokies. There's about 200. What's up, Henry? Females are called cows. Correct, Jen. That's what somebody said. It was a cow elk. So, I didn't kill it, Teresa. So anyway, and last note on our trip, I left at 7 o'clock in the morning yesterday. We got home at 3, 4 o'clock. I made great time, but I was the only one on 441 heading to Cherokee. I did not catch one car. It was incredible. So there you go. All right, we've been talking a little about the weather, a little bit about the tropic. Look at the current radar. The rain forecast was a huge bust, I will admit. Every single forecast model pretty much failed the amount of rain here from. Now, we got rain here. We had a little surprise shower in Tampa yesterday in Oldsmar. We had little popcorn storms, not that heavy concentration that we originally saw, inches and inches of rain. Key West is still getting rain this morning, though. Look at that, along the whole Keys. That's happening right now. We had a little shower run off the coast here close to Miami. But everybody's a little disappointed in the rain forecast. And, hey, that happens, man. Things are a little too dry. So that's current radar. Look, nothing else really cooking in the country. There's a little bit of rain up here, Washington northward. There's that. We're going to talk about the tropics. Here's dry air. I mean, the same thing that plagued me Friday night up there. I was all worried about was, we got a lot of dry air down here, so that kind of killed our rain chances in Florida. There you go. There's a big yellow patch of dry air, so keeping things kind of dry. And anyway, all right. So what's cooking? All right. So next week, not a lot of weather. Let's look at the long range weather. Where is it? I clicked them all. All right. So here's the weather for the week. We got our front down here stalled out. This is that same. So last Wednesday's front here in the south drifted over here to Texas. It got picked up by this weekend's front, and now this energy. Still, we're watching tail ends of fronts that potentially could become our first tropical something. Now, you can't get worried. When I post a model on ensembles and stuff, we're not talking hurricanes, okay? We're talking something tropical. I mean, it doesn't take a tropical depression will still get the same attention from the Hurricane Center. So nothing appears strong at this point. If we do get anything early in the week next week, this is the area we're watching. Here's the rain through the week. It's going to linger in Florida for a couple days. Just kind of hang down in by the Bahamas. Pretty dry elsewhere. This is midweek. We got our next system here brewing. Middle of the country is going to get some storms like normal. But here you go. So we got this is Friday. So we got a week of relaxing shear, and this is a general area right here that seems probable that we can get a little spin up right over the Bahamas. So here we go. This is over the weekend. So we got a lot of fans that live in the Bahamas. All the models are showing spin up over the Bahamas over the weekend. More than likely, it stays off the East Coast. We got our next approaching front here into next weekend. So far, only the CMC showing it hugging the coast, maybe bringing some wind and rain to the East Coast. But it's enough that we could get our first circle of the year and maybe even something tropical. The GFS this is the Euro, a little less aggressive, but there, that's a general pattern. And then it goes off to sea. So definitely, I'll show you all the models here in a minute. We'll show you all the models. We'll show you all the ensembles. The GFS is a little more aggressive. What it looks like. Here's a picture of it. Boom, there you go. This is the same time frame over the weekend. Again, off the coast. So that's good news. Now, we have a lot of fans in the Bahamas, so rainy weekend. A lot of fans in Bermuda. You could be dealing with the first tropical system of the year. As far as East Coast Florida goes, East Coast U.S., just increased rains over the weekend, possibly for Florida if it stays close, and possibly along the East Coast. So that's that. So no stress if you don't want to stick around and look at all the models. Nobody's talking about it yet. The only good positive from any official source is right here. This is the long range surface charts. You can see daily. This is Thursday. Our front's still decaying down here. High pressure to the north, keeping things a little more blocked and allowing this thing to kind of form. So here's Friday front, and then we get a little low pressure pop up on Saturday. Sunday, a little low pressure. You see a little bump in the surface chart, and then on Monday of next week, there's actually a little sign it could close off. And so that's that in a nutshell there. Of course, I showed this before I came on, but this is your 5-day rain map. Extreme southern tip of Florida still. This is where the whole, the next 5 days rains are going to be. General area that we can see this decaying front try to form. That's how it happens. The last since 2015, we've had a May storm in the tropics. So every year we've had a named system in May. So it doesn't mean that it's going to be a busy season. It doesn't mean things are going to be bad. It just means, hey, we always get a weak tropical system early in the season. And there you go, Christoph. Hey, yes, it's going to be wet for you guys. Listen, Bahamas next week. This is pretty confident. Now, last week's system, hey Joy, I made clear, I hope, that we had a ton of shear with the possibility of a system, and was teasing the Euro ensembles, but we made, hopefully there wasn't enough support to really get too excited as far as we might get a yellow circle or something. But yeah, Dale, the weekend rain was a bust, buddy. But this is getting the support of a lot of my. So let me go to Tropical Tidbits. This is a free site. I have all links here, but everybody likes to see the models. So this is Tropical Tidbits. We'll zoom in on couple different models here for you. This is the latest GFS. I'll get to the time frame about Saturday. This is through the week. See all the rain down here. This is Thursday. So this. Let me rewind. But Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're gonna have the chances of rain here. Southern Florida still. If this thing inches a little to the north, the rain forecast would have been spot on. I mean, yesterday, satellite showed that huge blob come across Texas, but it stayed to the south. And, we did have rains in the morning, but the heavy stuff stayed to the south. But there is a chance this thing's going to back up. Here's the heavy-duty rains from the Bahamas over the end of the week. And then it starts to spin up. You can start to see the isobars. This is next Friday. This is the GFS, and there you go. So that's been, again, we're not trying to hype anything up because it's not going to impact much of the U.S. if this holds true, but could be our first tropical, something to talk about. So here's the last few runs of the GFS. Here's the 18Z off to the northeast. We have a front coming down. It's going to push it away. So at least the GFS has been pretty consistent on something over the weekend, bubbling up over the Bahamas and then going off to the northeast. So there's that one. CMC kind of showing the same thing. Big blob. This is next Saturday. Big blob over the weekend. It's holding it a little bit closer to the East Coast. So this is the only reason we're making sure everybody pays attention as far as rain goes in your weekend forecast. Here's your CMC. It's been really consistent about staying a little closer to the East Coast. Tightening up 1001. Nothing to stress about. Just a big rainmaker. Then overnight yesterday. Let's see the CMC. Kind of the same thing. See. So there's that one. Icon, not the best model in the world, but it's showing the same pattern. Weekend rains, tightening up. This is Saturday over the Bahamas. And I showed you the Euro. So that's that in a nutshell there. I mean, not a biggie as far as nothing to stress about. Hey, Casper, yeah, Texas. Yeah, no, CMC. Every now and then the CMC loses its marbles and puts out a crazy forecast. I mean, it's showing a weird system coming off of Texas over here, but that's a land cane. We'll watch that one, but that's the tail end of the front. See, that's the tail end of the front that's going to push our Bahama disturbance off to sea. So more than likely, a ton of shear will be associated with that, and that will make that impossible to happen. See, the CMC is showing spin up the end of next weekend down here, but that's the tail end of the front. I don't know. That one seems a little far-fetched. See, there's the shear. Well, relax a little bit maybe. I don't know. There's the front. See, the shear is starting to relax. So last week we were showing that. Here's the shear forecast for the weekend, next weekend. And you can see a little pocket of relaxed wind. This is your upper level winds, lower level winds combined. So there is a little pocket of low shear. That's something we didn't see last week. But so there is a window of opportunity there. And the Euro is showing a little spin up vorticity right here, a little spin up off the Florida coast. So could be wavy and windy. We could, like I said, the East Coast. This will be what we're watching. There's a little vorticity here from the Euro too. Same time frame as that CMC. So I'll keep one eye on that one. I see CMC showing a little spin up in the Gulf next Monday, a week from now. But the Euro showing a little bit of spin up, but I'll have to watch a few more runs of that to get to two into that one. But it could still be, regardless, it could still bring weather to Texas Sunday, Monday, Tuesday next week, all tied into that front. So there's that. What else is cooking? Let me slow down a little bit. Casper, a little crazy. But hey, I got my Louis cup, by the way. Look at that. Louis mug. A couple people have been complaining about the T-shirt sales. They posted they're slow because of COVID. Everybody's got them. It's just taking a few more weeks. You got to be patient, I guess. I didn't respond to one of them. I was reading it on my phone last night. But they do tell people, because I get them from a third-party store. But they have an update on their production times and stuff. So just a little, little behind like everything else. Shipping time frames. So impacted countries. So be patient if you got a shirt. So all right, what else is cooking? You got your Louis mug, Whitney. Awesome, buddy. Thank you, Ryan. You're the man. Thanks to the supporters. Look at all you guys. Yes. Awesome. All right, well, hit me some questions. We'll watch. We'll look at some more models and maps if you guys want to look at some stuff. We'll look at some ensemble maps. Yeah, shipping's crazy. And it won't be long. It'll be June 1st. I got to give props to our ABC Fine Wine and Spirits, local Florida-owned, family-owned and operated, born in the 30s. I was born in the 70s. So there you go. All right, well, let's give me some questions here, and we'll talk some more individual of weather with this thing. But it's a quiet week. Ben, rain anytime soon for the Panhandle? It's not looking likely for a few days. Actually, not at all. 5 day. Look at that. So the way we saw last week, if you were showed 8 inches, you got 1 inch. So if you're showed no rain, you're going to get negative rain. Water's going to get sucked out of the land. Oh, cool. That's cool. So there's that. So yeah, no rain to Panhandle. A lot of supporters out there. Remember, the best way to be a fan of the page right here, become a supporter. That would be great. That's the greatest way to tip Mike. The more supporters, the more snow chasing trips we can make together. What's up, Brent? Good to see you, man. Brent's artist on Facebook. Check out his work, man. All right, so look at some ensembles real quick because it's cool to see. Again, if I posted the map last night. I started reading some comments. A couple people were pretty upset, panicking. I'm like, oh come on, man. This is nothing to worry about. Nothing at all. This is just first hint. Everybody gets excited about the first tropical possible system because it'll hit the news and everybody's going to remind you it's tropical season. And, that's about it. So, there's a tropical storm chances from the Euro, 20%-ish. Tropical depression. It was a little higher last night. But that's the general area we're watching. These are your ensembles. In fact, another cool site is this one here. Let me see if I pulled it up. I know I did somewhere. See, there's Windy. Here's a good site before I forget. This is Saturday morning. This is your rain and thunderstorm forecast because, again, we have a lot of fans in the Bahamas. But this is next Saturday. This is where it's starting to tighten up and brew. So all this rain is going to linger down in the south all week long. And then on Saturday and Sunday, it's going to start pulling itself northward and So, like I said, it could stay a little closer to the coast, and it could bring some wind and rains along the east coast of Florida. So if you're along the east coast of Florida all the way up to Virginia, definitely be watching the weather forecast for this weekend and the Monday, Tuesday next week because it could stay close and impact you guys. So, and there it goes. There's that one. All right, so let me see. There's one of okay. This is what I want to show you. So we just saw the Euro ensembles. The ensembles are cool. Joy by me. Ensembles are just a whole mix of every model run. It's all individual little members, and the main operational run blends all these together. So you get a lot of little brains of a GFS and a lot of little brains of the Euro, and then the big brain averages all little brains, basically, and it spits them out. So here's the GFS ensemble. You can see it. Boom. All these little dots are pressure points, and where the Euro thinks we could have some low pressure. So not going to harp about it too much. All right, so there's that. What do you see? Oh, Melissa, good point. So what else cooking? Hey, what's up, Lisa? So there's ensembles. Yeah, so we talked about the weather coming this week. Again, your 5-day rain forecast, not much. 24-hour rain forecast. Definitely going to get some more rain in South Florida today. Let's look at your 16-hour radar just for fun. This is always good to watch. The HRRR. That's your high rapid refresh. We'll take a look at see if Florida's got any more coming. Keys got rained on this morning pretty hard. Nothing in the Panhandle coming. And look at that. It's kind of hanging. So not even a lot. I don't know. I wouldn't expect too much. Look at that. There's your 16 HRR rain forecast, and it's very little. So I wouldn't get too excited about any rain dances in the next 16 hours. Michelle, yeah, I think everybody's showing no plane just took off from Lakeland, David. Interesting. Interesting. I'll take a look. Loretta, I don't know about that. I get so worried on my wordage. I don't want to, never say never in the tropics. And you always show the worst case scenario because, as we've learned lately, Harvey, the rains, it unfortunately panned out. The winds of Michael panned out. Dorian, we talked a lot about the conditions ahead once it passed, parts of the islands down there, that it was going to have ideal conditions, and boom, it blew up. So there you go, Whitney, train of flight. Early in the season, too much shear in the atmosphere, and the water's just not that hot yet to support anything to worry about. The only thing you got to worry about early in the season is just a slow, lingering tropical system that brings a lot of rain. That would be the number one threat. So other than that, it's just like an afternoon thunder shower. And it might be named, and it's gonna be Arthur. But I don't. This one might not be Arthur. This one will probably get a yellow circle. It'll be Arthur, but the next one will be Bertha, Big Bertha. Then we have Dolly. I can't wait to see Dolly's blobs. Dolly's going to be a storm off of Texas with a couple blobs in the Gulf. And then we're going to say Dolly's got big blobs. I'll post it because I can. And what else is cooking? Hey, what's up, Katie, our emoji girl? So yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, so nothing to worry about, nothing official on the horizon, nothing on the long range prediction map. So yeah, whatever. So there you go. Short term, little rain in Florida, and that's it. Kind of a boring week here at the start of the week. We got some storms developing later today out in, of course, Texas, mainly hail and wind, I assume. There you go, wind and hail. No light tornado chance. Day 2 outlook. Same spots. Day 3, same spots. Nothing 4 to 8. Little storm action today in the northeast, though. Way up here. Check that out. That's mainly no tornado, just wind. So anyway, Dolly's blobs. Yeah. Recap. Hey, Christy, what's up, Christy? Yeah, Kimberly, that is odd. I bet you they haven't retired it yet. That's got to be. There's no way they're going to keep that name. This probably is a there's Dorian right there. They just probably haven't. They haven't retired it yet, obviously. So, hey, there's Whitney. Whitney, you got a storm coming. All right. So what else we got? Yep. We got homeschool at 10 o'clock. So I got about 5 more minutes before I got to get today's show and tell for Sarah. I had to find her something to show and tell. But a recap. One of our supporters just asked for a recap. All right, recap. Let me try to make it like a 2-minute weather thing. All right, so nothing cooking in the weather the next couple days. Our front's going to hang around down south all week. It does appear. Here's your 3-day map. It's going to linger in the south. Got another little front coming down, so we're going to have all this juice and energy hanging down South Florida, Bahamas area. So it's going to be off and on rains down, extreme southern tip of Florida. We have signs from all the models that this little low pressure area is going to form toward the end of the week, over the weekend, and could become tropical in nature, and could become our first invest of the year, and it could become, a little something as it heads likely off the east coast of the U.S. and Florida. So definitely going to be a rainmaker for Bahamas, unfortunately, all week long into the weekend. Could get a little close to the East Coast over the weekend into the early part of the following week if it stays a little closer to the coast. But we got a high pressure coming. Remember, we talk about timing with these things. It's because we have a high pressure coming down, and it can't go west. Can't go west, young man. It can only go east, young man. So I'll show you that here. Basically, there you go. This is the GFS, and you can see it right here. Going to be a little high pressure. Here's our possible system over the first part of the weekend here, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, right in this general area and high pressure is going to kick it off on out. And we have a front coming down that's going to pick it up. So the euro was a little interesting yesterday because it showed this. Same general thinking, but it actually came in with a blocking high pressure and shoved it westward next week. So, we're talking 7 days out. We're talking something that hasn't even formed yet. So all this stuff's just speculation. But that's what I'm saying. East Coast, just pay attention. High pressure, last night's euro, yesterday's euro had it kicking more to the west, but then the overnight euro out to sea. And we can look at tracks real quick. Let's look at some actual tracks from the euro. Actually, we'll go to Weather Nerds. It's a good site. It's free. I'll pump the free site. These guys are great. They follow us here on the page. All right, so we'll do tracks on, lows on, and we'll update plot, and then we'll loop the plot, and then we'll see the progression of the euro thinking. There you go. Snowstorm. Chitter chat about something. Here we go. So here's all the different euro plots. You can see them move. Look at that. And so you can see the general motion. That's if something were to form. So likely out to sea. All right, cool, man. Hey, what's up, Christy? Yeah, so that's it. Nothing else cooking. Hope everybody's ready for the week. And went to our favorite joint last night, Surf Shack. And not a lot of people there. I'm going to Mama's house here in a little bit. They've never had Chick-fil-A. Can you believe it? All the years they lived in Florida, they never had a Chick-fil-A sandwich. So I didn't do Mother's Day yesterday, but I spend Mother's Day with Mom every day, so she didn't care. So we're taking her Chick-fil-A here in a little bit after Sarah's Zoom class, and that's our day. What else? The hair salon's opened up. I just looked at my little Facebook or Great Clips app, and it's already up to an hour and a half wait. So I'm not sure I'm going to battle that one yet. Hey, the birds. No, the birds have been quiet lately. Ever since we took our little trip, they were mad at us, but they're hanging in there. I already showed Louie. Louie's over snoring. Yeah, Whitney. Our Chick-fil-A here, I don't know how they do it, but they're wrapped around the store. They had 2 lines wrapped around our store. Hey, Misha. Yeah, it's. I don't even want to go there, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know how Chick-fil-A does it. Man. But it's good stuff. So yeah, any more last second questions, and I'll put this sucker back on. Thank you, Loretta. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'll put this back on at noon. I've been experimenting doing a rebroadcast. That way people can watch it. I'll upload it to YouTube. Not a lot to get going on yet, but we're getting close to the season. Water temps are hot. Let's check out the latest. They cooled down a little bit. Look at that. 79, 78, 80. They were up to 84 the other day, but we've had all that couple fronts coming down. And it was cold. So we're hanging on the 80s down in the Keys. What else can we look at? Cool. Your weekly sea surface temps, you can see where it cooled off a lot in the Atlantic. That's because of our cold fronts. This is your weekly anomaly chart, not overall for the season. A lot of talk about El Nino is officially dead, and the Pacific waters are cooling off, and we're in our monsoon pattern in the Central America, so we're getting all that starting up here. You can see a really good shot here. Let's take a look. Some of this one will go out. This one, let's do. It might go wide. Well, sort of. You kind of see it. This is all connected. The Pacific and the Central America here all get this big old flow of moisture that gets things kicked off here. We get a lot of shear early in the season, but that always ends up relaxing as the season goes on. And we might have signs of our first Pacific system getting going too. Or second one, actually. They've already had one. So anything else? Then I'll Be back tomorrow. Let me close some windows. I think our record's 30. I don't know what I was up to today. So far, the computers behaved this season. That's good news. And that's it. Anything else? Let's see. Hurricanes are a threat. Melissa? Well, I think by the news standards, hurricanes are only, well, I can't say only, but it seems like, unfortunately, what we saw with Michael, there was so much focus on landfall that nobody really looked at the impacts past land. That's why I always try to find, Weather Channel's got a great graphic that shows inland watches and warnings. Michael devastated people all the way up into, the cotton fields and pecan farmers. People forgot, but we had damage all the way up here into, southern Georgia, Alabama. It took a while for Michael. It was still Category 3 going through the Panhandle. Fast-moving system's different. If it was slow, it'd have greater time to weaken. So, every storm's different. Coastal, definitely the highest risk because of surge and you get the initial wind. But as we saw in Panama, you could be on the west side of the system and get very little because all the impacts your counterclockwise flow. So biggest part is really what side of the system you're on and how fast and strong the system is. Or we could have a system like even last year with Imelda and Harvey. You can have a slow-moving system and just dump a ton of rain and cause a whole different set of scenarios. So, water damage seems to be the bigger impact on most systems. It's rare you get these Category 5 hurricanes like Michael and Dorian and Andrew. And, the interesting fact on all the Category 5 systems that we've had that have impacted lately have all developed within 3 days of being a tropical storm. So it shows you the potential that these things can ramp up quick and become, monsters quick. That's why, you just got to look at all the scenarios, our biggest fear in Tampa, I say it all the time, but, we get a system that parks out here on the north of us here, and we get that counterclockwise flow of water into the bay. Flooding is the biggest problem that we have. All you got to do is type up NOAA's slosh maps, and you'll get worst case scenarios that are actually proven that can happen. Like around us, they have all these maps and models around our area. So here's one. This would be probably Category 3. Oh, this is Category 3. So Category 3 possibility. Yellow is 15 to 17 foot, but we could possibly see that water, in the top of the bay here, cross all the way through Lake Tarpon into the Gulf side, because this water has nowhere to go. So every place you live has a worst case scenario. Storm passes to the south, almost nothing. All the water is going to get pushed out of the bay. So it's all timing and where the eye decides to land. And we saw with Tropical Storm Debbie here in Tampa Bay, just a week-old tropical storm pushed in a lot of water and actually covered the bridges and the island, or I call Causeway an island, but Courtney Campbell Causeway. But you can just Google slosh maps. There's a lot of great imagery here. This is not one I want to see. Because I'd be underwater right up here. So there's a lot of data. Anything else? Cooking? No, all good. All right. Well, hey, we still have 411 followers. That's great. Appreciate it, everybody. Not too excited yet on this next weekend system, but hey, it's kind of rare that we got the big three models on board. GFS consistently showing boom, little pop up over Bahamas. Euro showing spin up over Bahamas. Nothing great, albeit. And then the CMC a little bit farther to the west. Even the Icon showing it. So let's look at Navy. I haven't looked at Navy model. The Navy's showing it too. So hey, I don't know. I think that's it. I think we're going to see our first tropical something they talk about soon. So anyway, Deuce, what's up, man? Melissa, well, Category 5 hit Tampa. You're going to get a lot of water, a lot of flooding. I mean, you'll be on the south side when the big stuff comes in. So, remember Charlie? Charlie was a little bitty storm, and it hit Category 4 down in Punta Gorda, but we got barely a cloud in Tampa Bay. So, just gotta be alert. That's all. All right, cool. Have a great day. Thank you, Alice. Appreciate everybody for sticking around and being here. We'll do it again tomorrow. And remember, thanks for being a Facebook supporter. Best way to support Mike's be a supporter and have that cool little badge. And Lord knows I tipped our bartender at Margaritaville a whole year full of supporter fees. I'm just a big tipper. So, all right, have a good one. I'm gonna put this live and go do school with Sarah now. So you have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.